Hey guys, I know it's only been 12 hours since I've last uploaded a video, but there's so many to cover. I didn't expect that there would be this news would be dropping, but we did in the last video say that I did say that Joao could leave to Benfica, but boy, I was wrong. I was so wrong, bro. Like Saudis, bro. Oh my god, the Saudis literally just came in and just said, Chelsea, what do you want? And we just said, we want 50 million. And they said, no problem. Because for Saudis, 50 million is just like them buying, like, it's just not even 1%. Not even 0.1% of their like worth. Like how much they have. Like them buying Joao Felix for 50 million is like me going and buying a Mentos from 7-Eleven. Like that's how for them is. So let's get into it. And it's a double upload today. Funny enough, because I said I'll be doing more videos on this channel and I'm really doing it right now. It's more videos. So let's get into the first part of the news that came out in the morning, because I slept yesterday at night and then I woke up in the morning. I thought Joao is okay, he'll go to Benfica, will make like not a loss but like maybe 30 million, something like that. I just woke up and I saw 50 million, no problem. So this is what first came out. Al-Nassr are in advanced talk to sign Joao Felix and hijack Benfica's move. Understand Al-Nassr have sent permanent deal proposal to Chelsea and contract proposal to Joao. The agreement is close as final details are set to be discussed in the next 24 to 48 hours. Then, two hours before this recording came out from my head. Why is my head? Okay. 2 hours before the recording came out, exclusive. Al-Nassr agree deal to sign Joao Felix from Chelsea. Here we go. Player authorized to fly for medical to join Al-Nassr. Initial transfer fee worth 30 million euros plus add-ons and heavy sign-on cost to meet Chelsea 50 million euro valuation in future. Paperwork being prepared. So, Joao Felix is going to the Saudi pro, Al-Nassr, Al-Hilal, Al-Ali, all the same bro. Like all the teams are basically owned by the same government. Like so. He go anywhere else is the same, but the thing is he gets to play with Ronaldo, so he goes to Ronaldo's team. So I actually like Joao Felix as a player. I was so excited when he joined because the loan spell that we had, I was kind of sad that we let him go. After that he came back the next season after Poch got sacked, and then after that he came back, did so much. His start was good and after he just trailed off. Like there was like nothing, like no, he didn't have an impact on the team, and I think Enzo Maresca also didn't use him that much as compared to how he uses like Palmer or Neto or Madueke. Joao Felix was just basically like for Conference League. I know that's being like sarcastic, but we literally had two teams, one for the Premier League, one for the Conference League, because we could play our B team or C team or academy team and we would win the competition. Okay, so I really like Joao Felix. I would have hoped he went to Benfica just because I think at Benfica he would have recovered his form from his before self, but he's going Saudi. We all know why. The money there is incredible. Even I or you who's watching, we will go to Saudi. When the offers comes, we go to Saudi. Okay, so we can't be sitting here and say, why are you going to Saudi? You should be going to Benfica, blah 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 blah. When we would have done the same damn thing. So Joao Felix, thank you very much for the memories. And you know what? This money we already paid I think 40 million pounds for him. If I'm not mistaken, 40 million pounds for him. And we are getting 30 million euros plus 20 million euros in add-on. So like 50 million euros. That's about 44 million pounds now. I did the maths just now. 44 million pounds for Joao Felix. He actually profit on the books because we bought him last year and we are selling him this year. So the installments, I'm going to sound like a big accountant right now, but every club when they buy a player there's installments. So you can literally put like Joao Felix, we're selling for 30 million now because it's 50 million, 30 is just at the base fee. So you can put 30 and it's profit on the books right now. Just because we only paid maybe like 10 million or what of his 40 million right there. So that's profit on the books for us. And you know what? It's sad, but him going is going to bring in another player, which is Xavi Simons. That deal I think next week will get it done. He will be here for pre-season, so it will be done. Xavi Simons will be a Chelsea player. I hope so, because we've seen so many deals like this where it goes to the final stages and it just collapses right away. You've seen Olise, Omorodion, even though I didn't want him, John Duran, and so many people else that Mike Mignon, Big Mike, we just call him Big Mike. Okay, so many deals we've seen go to the final stage and they just collapse. But I don't think it will happen with Xavi Simons and Hato. So we'll see what happens with Xavi Simons and Hato. And I think both of them we will get a here we go. I think maybe next week before preseason, because our preseason starts on I think 10th of August, 7th or 10th of August. Our preseason starts, and we should have them both in the squad by then. So I'm happy because I want all our players set for preseason. I don't want us to be like last when Caicedo joined and he joined literally at the last day of the window. No. Before preseason, have all our players in, like Liverpool, all their players in before preseason. So that's what I want. Now, that's Joao Felix. The next person in question is an outgoing. This I'm a bit indifferent to this just because I kind of don't want him to go. I kind of want him to go. So I can't make my mind up. But if the offer is very good, I will. There's no problem letting him go because we are not letting go of Ronaldo here. We are talking about Jackson. So he's not the second coming of R9. So we'll get into the news first. So this is what came out. So Craig Hope, the one that broke the news for Isak handing in a transfer request basically. So he's come out and said Mailsport can reveal Nicolas Jackson has been added to Newcastle's list of attacking targets. Newcastle, by the way, what the? How many rejections? Newcastle, you're meant to be like Champions League club and all of that, but now you're just like, how many rejections? Like, you're now linked with Jackson, Sesko, Watkins, and I think there's another for Mateta, of Crystal Palace. So Jackson, I think I don't, because I want 3 strikers going into next season because we have Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. So we have so many damn games to play. So like, we need all the firepower we have up top to be like, challenging on all fronts, because I want next year minimum a trophy. I don't care what trophy, I just want a trophy. FA Cup or Carabao Cup, and maybe we go like semi-finals or quarterfinals of Champions League, and then Premier League I want a title race. I don't want us to be like, I want us to maybe like, even I don't expect us to win the league, but maybe second or third somewhere around there would be good. So Jackson right now, Jackson will only join Newcastle if Isak were to go. I don't think Isak will go just because the Saudis, they have too much money and Newcastle are not in PSR problems. If they were in PSR problems, like profit and sustainability rules, if they were in those problems, then yes, maybe I could have seen Isak going. But right now, he's still contracted to Newcastle and he's just asked to leave the club. You can hand in a transfer request and ask to leave the club, because we saw this before at Caicedo. If you remember in January, Caicedo put in a transfer request to join Arsenal. I'm so glad that didn't happen, because I'm so glad Brighton didn't sell him to Arsenal. So he put in a transfer request, but the club didn't sell him because they said, we want you to stay and we'll sell you in the summer. So I think that's what's happening with Isak right now. He's trying to put in a transfer request, but I don't think Liverpool will pay like 150 million pounds. That is almost like Neymar level money, almost Neymar level of money. Neymar and Mbappe went for the same price that Isak should, that Newcastle are asking for Isak. Isak is not Mbappe. Let's be honest. He is worth maximum 110 to 120 million pounds right now. But I know inflation and the lack of like good strikers, like good strikers. Yes, you can ask 150 million pounds. I get where Newcastle are coming from, because there's scarcity in the market. So it's supply and demand. So when the supply is low, the demand is very high. So that's why I think Isak, I think he'll stay Newcastle. I think so, unless Liverpool are crazy enough to pay 150 million pounds for him. But because they just got Ekitike, like, why do we want Ekitike and Isak? Like, both are going to be on astronomical wages, and then both of them, you can't expect both of them to start, because I'm pretty sure that Ekitike would want to start over at Liverpool, and Isak would also want to start. I don't know how you can have both of them in the same team. because it's different to Joao Pedro and Liam Delap. Delap, he's young. Joao Pedro is a more polished player, so Delap can stay on the bench and Pedro can cover for the more like important games. And Delap, he can come on for Carabao Cup, FA Cup games, or maybe Champions League, or maybe Premier League, the last half an hour, something like that. He can come on that time. But I don't know how Liverpool are doing that. Like, they can have both Ekitike and Isak. I don't think that's why I don't think like Isak, even he's handing you know what Isak should have done before Liverpool went for Ekitike. He should have handed in a transfer request and joined Liverpool, and Ekitike would have comfortably went to Newcastle. That's what he should have done, maybe. But I don't think Isak is going to leave Newcastle. I think he's leaving. I think only next summer. I could be wrong. Maybe next summer, because that time he'll have I think 2 years left on his contract. I know Newcastle want maximum amount of money for him if they were to sell him, because he's not signing a new contract right now. So we'll see what happens with Isak, because Jackson going there is all depends on Isak. And there's other two clubs interested in Jackson, Manchester United and Aston Villa. Aston Villa, I think they would pretty much do a swap if Watkins were to leave, because if Watkins leave, because Jackson before this came from Villarreal. Who was the manager of Villarreal? Unai Emery. Who's the manager of Aston Villa? Unai Emery. So Unai Emery would definitely want Jackson. So I think that they won't pay cash. I think they'll do a swap, and we would want Morgan Rogers in exchange. And I'm going to sound like a hypocrite here just because I said how can Isak and Ekitike be the same team? I want Morgan Rogers, but I don't see how Xavi Simons, Jamie Bino Giddens, Morgan Rogers all in the same team. I don't know how that works, because we will have so many attacking players. We will have like 9-10 attacking players, like not even like rubbish attacking players, quality attacking players. Okay, quality ones. So we'll see what happens with Jackson. I think this will go until the end of the window. Jackson's departure will go until the end of the window. If no one, and we value him like there was an article that came out, we value him like 65 to like 80 million pounds, and I think he's worth that just because we bought him for 30 but Ekitike is almost the same type of player as Jackson, and he scored like 15. Okay, let's take Ekitike and Jackson right now. Ekitike scored 15 goals in the Bundesliga. Bundesliga is not as fast or like more like harder, or like Bundesliga is way more easier to score compared to the Premier League. Premier League is like a different animal, bro. For them to score in the Premier League is far more harder. There will be less spaces to run behind, because you see in Bundesliga it's all high line for life. You can literally like spray one ball behind the line and you can just run through. So Ekitike, you can basically like half his goals, like just half his goals. He'll score like maybe 7 in the Premier League. I'm not saying he will do that. I'm just comparing it. Okay, he scored 15 goals Bundesliga, so that means just divide it by 2. He'll score 7 goals in Premier League. That's what I think. So Jackson, he scored the same. He scored 14 goals the season with Pochettino, and he scored 10 goals last season, and he was out for I think 2 months of the season. So I'm pretty sure Jackson is a good like 14-15 goal striker for any team in the Premier League, because I think Jackson could become a very good striker at 26 or 27. But we have no time to wait, because we have to do something next season. Like Chelsea, we have no time to be like, oh, we are going to develop players. No, none of that rubbish. We need to go for a trophy next season. We need Champions League. We need to bare minimum quarterfinals, bare minimum Premier League, bare minimum. I want us to be in the title race until March. No more of this January bullshit, and we are just bullshit. I should bleep that out. No more of that. Okay, I want us to go until March. Title race. After we fall off, we'll see in the context of how we fall off, or maybe we don't fall off. I don't know what could happen. Chelsea is literally like a Bitcoin, Chelsea is literally can go down like this, or they can go up like this, because no one expected us to win the Club World Cup, and we just rocked up and just beat PSG, smoked PSG. So we'll see what happens. This is the second video of today. I don't think there will be any transfer news after this, just because it's on Sunday, and I don't think there'll be like any more like Chelsea news or anything. So we'll see what happens. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, definitely, for another video.